What are you doing at Park Asterix, Thomas?
Riding the worst roller coaster in the world 10 times in a row.
And why are you riding it 10 times in a row?
I think I have brain damage.
And what do you think it's going to feel like?
Goudurix is widely known across the world as being one of the worst roller coasters ever built.
This ride looks amazing, but it famously placed in the bottom spot of both the Mitch Hawker and TPR coaster polls.
I had heard horror stories about people who had experienced this ride, the headaches they came off with, various parts of their bodies just in pain, and most of them saying that they would not ride that again.
This ride is far from smooth. If you watch my back row POV,
You'll see the heads of taller riders jostling around.
I can safely say that this might be the jankiest steel coaster ever built. The whole ride feels like the real-life equivalent of a child taking a crayon and just scribbling on a sheet of paper.
This is not a drill. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. This is not a drill. Welcome, folks, to Park Asterix, my first international park. And what a special place it is. It's got some incredible roller coasters like the phenomenal B&M Invert Osiris, two Tatis, Pantheon but better. But let's be real, you all know why I'm here. This guy, right behind me. That's right. I've come 5,000 miles to ride what is apparently the worst roller coaster in the world, Goudurix. I'm gonna ride it a bunch of times. Is it as bad as everybody says? Am I actually gonna like this thing? Who knows? Time to find out. When I say it, this old Vekoma is the most hated roller coaster in the world, I'm not joking, I swear. Multiple people have said it, like I'm showing you on the screen right now. How bad can it be, though? Come on. I feel like I'm about to do something of significance. Significant stupidity, of course, but like, I don't think anyone has ever done anything like this. 10 rides in a row, the worst roller coaster in the world. It was time for me to meet my maker. This is Goudurix.
Ho ho, oui oui, omelette du fromage.
Pity poor Goudurix, perhaps the most slandered coaster in world history. I cut my teeth on this channel marathoning some hated old arrows, but never had I attempted to marathon an attraction this positively reviled. Goudurix is a frequent choice for the worst roller coaster ever made, and is the subject of many, many video essays detailing its supposedly justified reputation. It's not just random YouTubers either. In 2012, Goudurix gained the dubious distinction of finishing dead last in the Mitch Hawker poll, 364 voters ranking it as the worst coaster in the world below such luminaries as the Zamperla Volare, Chance Toboggans, Ninja at Six Flags St. Louis, and goddamn Pirates Hideaway at Casino Pier. Ouch. But I look at this coaster and I can't help but think, how could it possibly be that bad? The layout looks fun. Sure, those over-the-shoulders can be unforgiving, and old-school Vekoma isn't exactly known for their good track work, but nothing about this ride indicates that it deserves to finish below Mirage Rosso at Zoo Safari Fasan... what the hell is this thing? Let's just give the POV a look, why don't we? Alright? Ooh. Jeez. Ooh, that's bad. You're telling me this pile of Italian garbage is a better ride than a slightly larger than average Vekoma looper? With a bat wing? My favorite inversion? It can't be. Goudurix's infamous reputation has led me to develop a bit of an obsession with the ride, this stunning mess of metal that is supposedly the most painful coaster on the planet, and I've frequently expressed my morbid fascination for this car crash of a coaster. Seriously, I mean, look at this beautiful, twisted mess of metal. I'm so excited. It's gonna hurt, isn't it? Look at her, just sitting on the brake run, waiting for me. It's calling out to me. Thomas! Thomas, don't you want a concussion, Thomas? Today's your lucky day.
And what do you think it's going to feel like?
It's gonna be Viper at Magic Mountain,
crossed with an SLC. If it's like that, that's great. Excuse me, I was told this is the worst ride in the world. Why does it have a line out the gate? For real, I love the enthusiasm, but this is gonna make riding it 10 times in a row way more difficult. Why are there people riding Goudurix? It took about 15 minutes of waiting, but I was honestly starting to get nervous. The apprehension was building. Each cycle I inched closer and closer to the station, I began to question my choices. What if it really is as bad as everyone says? Why would I purposely ruin my first trip to an international park like this? No matter, it was too late to turn back. I was doing this, Wait. They put on vests? What do you mean they put on vests? This is the worst tragedy I've experienced in my life. I wanted to ride Goudurix full restraints, and now it's gonna be a good ride. This sucks. My concern was warranted. Vekoma's vest trains had famously saved the reputations of many an SLC and boomerang, turning headbanging horrors into genuine crowd pleasers. And they were propagating everywhere, turning into a full-blown pandemic that had already taken my beloved Six Flags America SLC down with it. I had this trip prepared for months, only for Parc Astérix to get infected a mere 2 weeks before my arrival. Now I wouldn't be getting the full Goudurix experience. I felt betrayed. And soon after, Goudurix would betray me again. I think it broke down in the station. Yep, we got a man going out to the brake run. We're doing great so far. Been about 10 minutes, still sitting in the station. Apparently there's a train stuck on the lift hill, and man's still on the brake run, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're back. First ride. Let's go.
How are you feeling after the first?
It wasn't that bad. Okay, sure, like, it was really bad on the Batwing. Like, it shook so violently. It was good we were in road, by we I mean I, because I rode this alone, because you're a smart person. I rode it in row 12, and I could see the whole train in front of me shake into the bad transition, so I could, like, brace myself accordingly. But somehow I chopped my neck going out of the Batwing with vest restraints, which is, like, impressive, isn't it? I'm ready for ride number 2. Let's go. Ride 2 was up at the very, very front, and I was trying something different this time. That is, in fact, a GoPro strapped to my wrist. Parc Astérix allows for the on-ride video recording, so for the first time in my life, I recorded my on-ride reaction. For you. I suffer for your entertainment. Let's see the footage.
Okay, front row on the worst roller coaster in the world. Let's go!
Front row's brutal. You get pushed into everything and you just get shoved. And my head was just like every which way. I love it. I don't care.
And that was ride number...
Ride number 2?
Goudurix.
Goudurix? I didn't even know. It was like the delay breakdown kind of... Okay, no, maybe the ride combined it over it. I'm not sure yet. So I bought the virtual queue thinking it would give us unlimited virtual queue, and that's actually not the case. You only get one ride on the virtual queue, so that means I have to wait the full length of the line anytime I want to ride the ride. And unfortunately, it's rather crowded today on a Monday in April. Listen, I wasn't rich enough to get the full fast pass, so maybe I should have anyway. On to ride 3, back car ride that also captured with my GoPro. Let's see the result. Also, just a disclaimer, my GoPro is a Hero 5 that I think is about a decade old at this point that doesn't have motion stabilization built in, so cut the old girl some slack, okay?
Or like Goudurix.
Ride number
3. Number 3. I kind of hit my head on the butterfly. You know, second back car, second to last row, and we just got a big right on the butterfly. And I don't know what I expected. That kind of sucked.
and are the G-forces taking their toll?
It's fine. The G-forces are fine. As long as I don't get repeatedly whacked in the head, it should be easy. Except I probably will get repeatedly whacked in the head, so we'll see.
Is it the funniest Vekoma ever made?
It is the funniest Vekoma ever made. Actually, tied with every other SLC ever made, so... But this one has 7 inversions, so it's better. Like, this is starting to become a love the way you lie situation. I'm genuinely feeling sick and in pain, and I want to... I wanted to come in here and be like, oh, everyone's a softie. This ride is so easy, so re-rideable. But for the first time in this series, I think the haters have a bit of a point. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like the ride. I love the ride. Is this ride re-rideable, though? Absolutely not. It'll beat the shit out of you, even with the vests. If anything, the comically long line for the supposed worst coaster in the world does make it easier to marathon because I can recover between laps.
Just had ride number 4.
And this is such a beautiful view. Beautiful view of the pain train. Yeah, it's getting on me. I tried to brace this time and it just didn't work. I tried to like push my head back and it just went like up anyway. I think these vest trains, like the headrests are really far back, so you can't push your head back. You just like kind of brace yourself for everything. And I think it kind of makes it worse for this. Maybe it's just because I'm kind of tall and like in an old arrow restraint, like, you know, it just clears my shoulders, but like, I think this might be worse. And also you don't feel that great airtime pop on the first drop, which is like SMH. It seems that I had entered myself into a boxing match and Goudurix had me strung up against the ropes. But far more concerning than my physical condition was the growing logistical issue. Goudurix proceeded to break down again, which wouldn't have been a problem with the old trains. I'm just saying. So we lost a good 40 minutes of ride time, but even if Goudurix stayed open all day, the lines were just really long. 30 minutes for basically every lap. We were leaving that night to fly to the UK and the clock was ticking fast. I had a tough decision to make, but at the end of the day, I decided to stop my marathon at 5, just so I'd be able to actually finish up the missing credits and actually make our flight later that night. This wasn't an easy decision, as I started to develop some mighty strong Stockholm syndrome with this old school Vekoma. It was beating the absolute shit out of me, but I loved it. Before Ride 5, I was dilly-dallying in the still impressively long queue line, where I made a horrifying discovery. Oh my god, I thought I was a madman trying to ride this 10 times in a row, and then I see this sign. Marty McFly from Back to the Future has ridden it 31 times in a row. On my goddamn birthday, too, those bastards! My last ride was an interesting one. I was gunning for the back row to finish off with the maximal Goudurix experience, but Parc Astérix is not very accommodating with row requests, so it didn't work. I also don't speak French, so I didn't have much of an opportunity to plead my case as the ride-up shuffled me into row 6. But one of the other ride ops, who is my absolute hero by the way, witnessed my defeated expression. He came over and informed me in broken English that there was one seat open in the very back row, and I could take it. So I did. I sat down in the train ready to soak in my final Goudurix experience, not even bothering to try filming with my ancient half-broken GoPro. But sitting next to me was a fellow Thuzy vlogger with a brand new GoPro 360 strapped to his wrist. Even though I didn't intend on it, I spent my last ride recording my on-ride reaction anyway. Now, I foolishly didn't ask the dude for his info, so I don't know how to contact him, and I might just be showing some random person's POV here, but if I did find it, it will be playing right now in much higher quality than I could muster with my ancient GoPro 5. Well, that was number 5, and I think Goudurix has defeated me. I think I'm calling it quits. Okay, let me clarify. I'm calling it quits because it's a 20-minute wait for the ride every single time, and this is my first and only time I've been to Parc Asterie, and I want to experience the rest of the park. But yeah, it lived up to the reputation in positive and negative ways. With the vests, I really enjoyed it. It really did bang my head around. It was a bit of an endurance test, but the layout is really cool. It's very forceful. There's surprising, the airtime over the top of the drop is pretty good. Surprising moments of, strong positives and random forces that are really cool. Then you get the shake in the Batwing, and it's, the most atrocious shake you've ever seen in a ride. But it's really funny. And for me, I find funny factor goes very far with the roller coaster. So, sorry I didn't get to do more, folks. You're gonna have to settle with 5. Apparently I have to come back and do it 32 times in a row, maybe when I have more than one day to be in the park. So yeah, I didn't succeed, but it wasn't for lack of desire. The truth is, I think Goudurix is really fun. I don't think it's a good coaster to ride more than once or twice a visit, but if you can put up with its horrid track work just once, you'll get to experience a forceful, unique looper with some wacky inversions, strong pacing, and stunning views. It is absolutely not deserving of the worst coaster in the world label, and I genuinely think that I would have preferred the ride without the vests, as I find the arrow over the shoulder restraints very comfortable. String a few rides together though, like I did, and the pain starts to add up fast. Man, this thing is brutal. You cannot brace for it no matter what you do, so maybe don't marathon Goudurix like I did. But still, even after all the concussions, the ride has implanted itself on me. It hurt me so much, but I grew to love Goudurix nonetheless. Goudurix is the ultimate underdog, and maybe that's why I like it so much. It's been so hated for so long. In truth, I just wanted to see it succeed, in spite of all the haters. And when I got off the ride and found myself not actually despising it, I was ecstatic. I genuinely want to come back and try to break Marty McFly's record. Maybe that's how I'll spend my 31st birthday, hopefully a day where I'll be able to crush double-digit rides in a shorter time span. Like anyone who's been down on their luck, who's never been given the opportunity to prove themselves, Goudurix deserves a second chance. And if you're willing to give it that chance, you might just be pleasantly surprised.